So over the weekend, Andrew Luck decided to retire in what was one of the most shocking moments I can remember in the NFL. Shortly after the news of Luck's retirement broke Saturday night, Colts owner Jim Irsay estimated Luck might be losing out on $500 million.
Somebody stop that nigga!
But honestly, he's already made a ton of money. And how much is your health really worth, man? He could keep on playing, keep on getting injured, and not be right mentally. So hey, I'm not knocking it, man. Do what's best for him. Maybe he just wants to spend time with his family. However, the Colts are now left with Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback. Now, what if that happened to every NFL team? So as you can see, Brady, Breeze, Eli, Roethlisberger, all the starting QBs from all 32 NFL teams are right here at center, man. Most of them are 12 overall. A couple of them are 13. Fitzpatrick's only 14. Foles is a 15. Matt Ryan and James Winston are both a 16. Russell is a 19. And then Dak is a 23. And Cam is a 25. That got me thinking, what could a team of Cam Newtons do? But back to the topic at hand. Let's go ahead and check out every starting quarterback, or every backup quarterback, that will be starting in today's video, man. Tannehill from the Titans. Teddy Bridgewater from the Saints. Case Keenum from the Redskins. Dwayne Haskins is the backup to the backup. So hey, I don't know what's going to happen there. He might end up winning out that starting spot. Jacoby Brissett, as previously mentioned, he's one of the better backups in the NFL. Hopefully that makes you feel better, Colts fans. Tyrod Taylor from the Chargers. Josh Rosen from the Dolphins. Some of these guys are young guys who low-key might be starting anyways, so you might be getting a little preview. Blake Bortles, a guy who used to be a starter, now is a backup, and now is a starter again. Nick Mullins from the Niners. Drew Lock from the Broncos. Will Greer from the Panthers. RG3 back in the starting role in Baltimore. Daniel Jones, one of those young guys I was talking about. Mason Rudolph from the Steelers. Brett Hundley from the Cardinals. Tyree Jackson from the Bills. 86 speed, disgusting. Matt Barkley right behind him. So hey, there's a QB controversy in Buffalo. Brian Hoyer from the Patriots. Deshaun Kaiser from the Packers. Chase Daniel from the Bears. Jeff Driscoll from the Bengals. Drew Stanton from Cleveland. Blaine Gabbert from Tampa Bay. Chad Henne gonna be the Chiefs starting quarterback this year. Cooper Rush is gonna be the starter in Dallas, or it could be Mike White, man. They're both the same overall. Cody Kessler, who's pretty much injured. Nate Sudfeld. You know, I'm gonna sign McCown because that's who the Eagles' backup is right now. There it is. Everything is as it should be. McCown is the starter for the Eagles. The Falcons are gonna be led by 38-year-old Matt Schaub. Nick Mullins at quarterback for San Fran. Gardner Minshew, the second, leading the way for Jacksonville. The Jets are going to be led by Trevor Siemian. The Lions by Tom Savage. For the Raiders, we're looking at Mike Glennon. I'm mad Nathan Peterman is even on a roster. The Seahawks being led by Geno Smith and Paxton Lynch. Wow, talk about two quarterbacks that did not pan out. The Texans, led by AJ McCarron. I actually like this guy. I think he'll do some good things. And finally, the Vikings, led by Cal Sloter. Now, I won't be playing any games in this video because, yeah, there's 32 teams that we're looking at. I don't want to waste time on just one of them, man. Everyone should get equal attention. You can see the settings right there, man. I got to turn fill roster off just in case they do something with the quarter. I don't know what they could do because you can't change the positions. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. Let's simulate halfway through the season and just take a look at how people are doing. The best record halfway through the season goes to the San Fran 49ers. The Jaguars are second, and the Saints and the Eagles, along with the Rams, both 6-2. Now, who's the worst overall team so far? I mean, it's early, only 8 games into the season, but damn, it's not looking good for the Buccaneers and the Cardinals.
Many months later.
So at the end of the season, the guy who ended up leading the league in yards thrown was Matt Schaub. He doesn't look too happy about it either, man. 4,400 passing yards for the guy in Atlanta. I can't believe it, man. 37 touchdowns for Chase Daniel. He led the league. Nick Mullins was second. Deshaun Kaiser stepped it up. Teddy Bridgewater kept doing his thing. Tannehill slowed down a little bit. He had 30. Hoyer had 30, RG3 had 30, along with Mike Glennon. Cooper Rush did his thing. That is wild. Okay, maybe a lot of teams decide to run the football because they're using a backup QB. Nope, not the Patriots. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. I don't know if that was good enough to make the playoffs, to be honest, man. He led the league in interceptions. Tyrod Taylor, Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew also threw a ton of interceptions, man. Let's see completion percentage. Okay, well, that doesn't really count. Y'all didn't throw the ball enough. Here we go. Nick Mullins, Josh McCown. I don't know if they were all like checking it down round, but hey, not Bridgewater. 31 touchdowns. You're not checking it down if you're doing that. Chase Daniel, he might have had the best season. He might have just had the best season. Let's look at the rushing numbers. Todd Gurley stepped it up, or he just did what he always seems to do, man. He dominated. Zeke with 1,600 rushing yards. Kamara, okay, these are all the guys you expect to be near the top of the league in rushing yards, man. Oh, Adrian Peterson turning back the clock with 10 touchdowns rushing. Alvin Kamara and Kareem Hunt both with 18. He did that with an 11-game suspension. No, he probably was suspended in this franchise mode, man. Gurley at 14. Kerryon with 14. Unbelievable player right there. He's going to go off this season in real life as well. As for receiving, Adam Humphries led the league in reception yards. Wow. Tennessee had to make the playoffs, man. They had two guys who performed well above where I would expect them to. Keenan with 13 touchdowns receiving. Tyreek with 13 as well. MVS with 11. Julian, along with Beasley, Willie Snead, AB, Mike Evans. Okay, there's a ton of guys that got 10 reception touchdowns. A lot of different names near the top, man. This is a very unpredictable season. Let's see the awards. Okay, Chase Daniel, 1 league MVP. I told you. I just knew it. Gurley, Kamara, Bridgewater ended up in the top 5. Nick Mullins was just outside the top 5 along with RG3. Tannehill. Daniel Jones on a 6-9-1 Giants team was in the top 10 conversation for MVP. And then DeShone Kizer was number 10, man. That is wild. Coach of the year, Sean Payton, led his team to a 13-3 record despite losing Breeze, their franchise quarterback, and starting Teddy Bridgewater, man. He had an unbelievable season. In the AFC, the offensive player of the year was Kareem Hunt. Tannehill and RG3 rounding out the top 3. In the NFC, it was Todd Gurley. A running back, Chase Daniel, couldn't win both awards. It just wouldn't be right. Defensive player of the year went to Khalil Mack in the NFC. In the AFC, it went to Myles Garrett. Offensive rookie of the year, some of the rookies that ended up starting are on here, man. Look at this. Gardner Minshew, Drew Lock, I see you. In the NFC, Daniel Jones. He must have had a filthy season. I gotta go back and see what his stats really were, man. I saw it, I glanced at it, but damn, he must have had an incredible season. Maybe he rushed for some yards, who knows? Best QB, Ryan Tannehill. In the AFC, Daniel Jones has to be up there, right?
You thought?
Okay, now what the hell? He was 8th? So how was he? Okay, I don't get this. All right, maybe he was just like the best rookie QB or something in the NFC. I have no idea what's going on. In the AFC, the 6 teams that made the playoffs were the Texans, the Browns, the Titans with Tanny, the Bills, the Jaguars, and the Chiefs. So that means the Patriots, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Chargers, teams that we always see in the playoffs, did not make it. They were not good enough with their backup QB to make it this season, man. That is craziness. And in the NFC, we have the Saints, the Rams, the Niners, the Eagles, the Redskins, and the Lions. I say about 3 of those teams are usually in the playoffs like every year. So hey, that just means the roster around the quarterback is so good that it could not deter them from the playoffs, even with a backup QB, man. The Panthers 9-6-1 didn't make it. The Packers went 9-7, man. It was a battle. It was really a battle, man. A lot of these teams had decent seasons. They just could not make it to the playoffs, man. The Seahawks without Russell Wilson, yeah, I'm not surprised that fell apart, man. The Vikings, hey, maybe they need Kirk Cousins. Maybe the Giants need Eli. Maybe the Cowboys need. All right, now we're getting a little too reckless. So this is what the wild card round is looking like. We're gonna go ahead, simulate to the Super Bowl, and then come back and look at all the box scores. Give me 1 second. Here it is. The Jaguars beat the Buffalo Bills by a score of 32-21 in the wild card round. Barkley threw for 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Minshew threw for an interception and a touchdown, but Fournette was the star of the game. 18 for 87, 2 touchdowns. Alfred Blue with 1978 and 1 touchdown. And the Jaguars moved on. The Redskins lost to the Eagles. And what was a close divisional battle in the wildcard round? I don't know where my man stats is, man. They gotta fix this. They really gotta fix this. McCown stats are nowhere to be found, but it surely was dominant because they ended up winning the game. Josh Doxson, 2 touchdowns though. That's pretty freaking good. Back to the AFC, the Titans ended up beating the Kansas City Chiefs. No Mahomes meant that it was just not enough firepower for the Chiefs to move on to the next round. Damian Williams did his thing. Adam Humphries continued his hot streak, and his team ended up moving on to the next round. The Niners didn't score a point against the Lions. That is very unfortunate, man. I guess they're missing Jimmy Garoppolo. Nick Mullins with a 28.9 passer rating. Carry on. 25 for 97. Nice performance right there, man. Tevin Coleman with 12 for 47. but the Niners just did not have enough to move on to the next round in the divisional. We see the Jaguars losing to the Texans by a score of 21-10. McCarron continues the dominance, man. 242 yards, throwing 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Minshew did not perform his best. 2 interceptions, just, yeah, not the best performance right there. 20 for 70 for Lamar, 5 for 66 and a touchdown. Nuke Hopkins, 457 and a touchdown. Yeah, we didn't take any of their starting wide receivers. We just took their quarterback. The Eagles and the Saints, which is low-key developing into a rivalry nowadays, man. The Eagles won this version, and there's still no McCown stats to be found. Teddy Bridgewater, however, threw for almost 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Jordan Howard, 18 for 131 and 2 touchdowns. He went undrafted in one of my fantasy leagues. Unbelievable, man. 7 for 98 for Michael Thomas. We knew that was coming. Ted Ginn Jr., Nelson Aguilar, all did really well, but it was the Eagles who moved on to the next round. Look at the score. Tennessee 44, Cleveland 29. The Titans and the Browns went at it. It was a high-scoring affair, and we can't see the Browns quarterback stats, unfortunately. Tannehill threw for over 300 and 2 touchdowns, man. He led his team to the next round. Tannehill had an incredible season. That is someone that if they start in real life, they might do better than the starter. I'm just saying. I don't know how I feel about Marcus Mariota, but hey, that one is close. He might end up being a starter very soon. I don't know. Lions and Rams. Let's look at this, man. The Lions got destroyed by the Rams, and it's honestly to be expected. Not that they're bad or anything. Rams roster is just so disgusting. They still have Todd Gurley. Blake Bortles used to be a starter, so I understand it, man. Look at this stat line: 173, 1 touchdown. Even his backup got a touchdown. Malcolm Brown, Carrion just could not get it going on the ground. Cooper Kupp, yeah, the receiving core for the Rams is still disgusting. That's why they were able to plug in a backup quarterback and still keep thriving. And then in the conference championship, the Texans beat out the Titans and went to the Super Bowl, man. We gotta look at the stats one last time. Tanny did not do enough to lead his team to the promised land. AJ McCarron, however, did. I knew I liked this guy for a reason. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not amazing, but hey, he did enough. Lamar Miller, 20 for 81 and a touchdown. He recovered from his ACL quite nicely, man. Derrick Henry, 6 for 17 and a touchdown, man. Deion Lewis did his thing as well. Look at Lamar in the receiving game too. Wow. The Eagles beat the Rams by a score of 35-9. I'm sure McCown stats aren't there again. Yep. As expected, man. Okay. Blake Bortles, 197. 1 interception, no touchdowns. Jordan Howard, once again, he had more yards than Gurley. Wow. Okay, so it was a defensive type of affair. Even though D-Jax did have a touchdown, Nelson had 2. Okay, so maybe not only a defensive affair for one team. And in the Super Bowl, the Texans beat out the Eagles in what was a thriller. 30-24. Super Bowl MVP had to go to McCarron. I told you. I sensed it at the beginning of the season. I knew he would eat. 400 yards, 2 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Lamar Miller ended up taking his team to the promised land and securing the W. So this is what would happen. If every team had to use their backup QBs, it would be a lot of teams at the top that have great rosters around the quarterback. Teams that rely on their quarterback, which is not a bad thing. Guys like the Seahawks, the Steelers, the Patriots, teams like that who have had like a consistent, amazing quarterback for such a long time. It will take them a while to adjust to a backup quarterback, which is why you don't see them in the playoffs. But yeah, these teams will keep on moving. They would keep on grooving, which doesn't mean their starting quarterback is bad. It just means their surrounding roster is so good, man. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. Subscribe today, it's free, and also like the video. Thank you so much once again for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And as for me,